Hello, Richard. I watched your video earlier today, and I watched Skid Row's video a few minutes ago. And honestly, I feel like a lot of what you did in your video, I feel like you completely skipped over his argument. One, and I feel like a lot of what you did in your video was just took cliches that popped up in his video or that popped up in his or other people's comment sections and used that to justify calling him a bigot, which I think is completely ridiculous. Maybe he's a bigot, I don't know. I mean, I don't care. But if he is a bigot, the examples you used are completely insufficient. For example, you talked about how he said that these surgeries that doctors perform to change people's genitals are, he said, they're Frankenstein-like. And you took that to mean, people who try to change themselves biologically into a man or a woman, doctors who do that are committing Frankenstein-like, operations just by cue of them being, so unnatural, some shit like that. That's the way you're putting it. But that's not at all what he was saying. It was completely about, their genitals being fucked up once they get them. People get these surgeries, and they end up with penises and vaginas that do not work. And he said that, basically. I mean, he treated it like all doctors, who do these kind of procedures and surgeries, all they do is just give people this kind of aesthetic peripheral that they can look and I have a penis, so I'm a man. Or other people can see, I have a penis, so I'm a man. That's what he treated it like in a lot of his video, and I completely disagree with that, and I think it's ridiculous. But at the same time, that had nothing to do with his overall argument. His overall argument was, why do people have to focus so much on gender roles to identify with in terms of their identity? Why is their identity so wrapped up in gender? That's what he was saying. He's saying if you feel a certain way, if you feel feminine, why do you have to be a female to feel feminine? That's what he was saying. And I know gender roles are, more biological constructs and societal constructs than they are just a societal construct. Obviously, gender is a biological, it is biological. But, I think what he was getting at was gender roles. The things that make us feel like we're insufficient when if I feel like I need a gender change, it's because I feel like who I am on the inside doesn't reflect who I am biologically. But what I'm saying is, why do we need to feel that way? That's what he was saying was society, and I agree with this, society is saying women act like this. Biologically, if you are biologically a woman, you act like this. And if you're biologically a man, you're not supposed to act like this. And he said he feels like a lot of people another problem I had, I feel like he was way too general in this. I feel like he was just saying people do this. People who get these sex changes do this. Which, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who get sex changes for, their own reasons, for very unique reasons, and I think he didn't take that into account. But, so I think the way he worded it was wrong. But the way he was saying it was, there are people who just do this because they feel like a woman. And where do they get this idea of what a woman is? They get it from society. They get it from what is placed in their head by our culture. But they are not like that. So why do they think like that? That's what I'm saying. Why do people need to feel like they aren't, they feel like a way that society does not expect from a man or does not expect from a woman? Why does that mean they need to then become what society does expect? What? And again, you have to put this in here. I'm not a bigot. I'm not saying that these people, have no right to do this. That's why he did it. Because, there's going to be people who just jump to ridiculous conclusions. I feel that's exactly what you did. Yeah, you just pulled out a bunch of cliches and said, he said he had, in the comment section, he said he had transgendered friends. Well, why don't you have them listen to this video? I mean, if I was transgendered, and maybe I can't, obviously I can't empathize, but maybe I can't relate in any way. If I was transgendered, I wouldn't have a problem with, somebody saying, well, did you just do this because, you know, you wanted to be more acceptable to society, or did you do this because you actually feel this way? You know, you actually wanted to look this way. You actually wanted to be more biologically. You wanted, you know, just to help you out in this way. You know, there's a distinction to be made there, because I do feel there are people out there who just feel like they can't fit into society in that role. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with wanting to change your gender so you can, you know, please society, but it's an argument to be made. I should say, I don't feel like there's any problem with changing your gender to please society, but maybe he does, and maybe other people do. I'm just saying it's getting way off topic. I'm sorry. Like I said, I just feel like, and I feel it's irresponsible from your end, because, you know, his 900 subscribers, less like 850 or some shit. You know, you have a ton of fucking subscribers, and you just kind of sicked them on him. You watch his video now, you know, he's already starting to pile up extreme disproportion of negative views. When, like I said, I think it's completely ridiculous the way you're putting it. You know, you have some people on there who actually engage his video, but a lot of people are just going on there to say, you know, transgenders are awesome, fucking bigot, fuck you. Well, it's ridiculous. He's not a bigot. If he is a bigot, he did not demonstrate it sufficiently by, you know, the comments that you brought up. Because, like I said, for instance, the Frankenstein one was not what you were talking about. He was not saying that these surgeries are Frankenstein. Like, he was not saying that, you know, just because people want to change their gender, that that's some kind of a natural, immoral thing. He was just saying they don't work. And a lot of the time they don't work. You know, and like I said, I think he was being too general in a lot of areas, but I don't think that makes him a bigot. Either way. I just thought I would make that video. So yeah, and create some kind of dissent, because most people aren't, you know, most of the people in your video response section were just completely agreeing from what I saw. So anyway, I will talk to you later.